Okay. Should be streaming. Yay! I actually sat down and did a look over of everything. So, it should be working properly. Why on earth does the screen look like that? Okay. I didn't realize I had it selected. I thought it was actually like live streaming some like weird blue filter over everything, and I was like, what? Okay. So, no one's here yet, but that's okay. This is the last Subnautica Mermaid, at least for Mermay. I might do more just for fun, because it was really fun doing other mermaids for this. I might make like a crab squid one just for fun at some point. But this is the last Mermay one. Hey, are you sure about that? Yeah, exactly. That's I'm thinking about it. It's fun to do. I had a lot of fun with this one, making the tail like the part that eats things. If you've ever seen a Squidshark, these horrifying things. I hate their faces. I remember coming across one of these for the first time. That was fun. I wasn't sure what it was at first from like a distance. I was like, what am I looking at? And then when I realized it looked like a shark, I was like, okay, I'm gonna stay away from that thing. I thought I was at a safe distance. I was not. And it immediately came after me. I was like, why? No. Music's so loud. There we go. Keep trying to turn the music down so it's not like blasting. That game made me confused about mermaids. Yeah, it's been weird drawing mermaids for this, because the first one looked somewhat human, and then I just sort of went to the warper one, and that one didn't look human at all. And so this last one is also going to look sort of human, but have Squidshark properties. It's definitely difficult to turn these creatures into mermaids, because they're just so alien. I still think it's funny that people believe that, I think it was Christopher Columbus, that he was like, when he was sailing to the Americas, or when he was sailing somewhere, he said that he saw this group of mermaids and that they were really ugly. And I think that, or a lot of people think that what he was actually saying were manatees. And I just think that's like the funniest thing in the world. Like, how do you not see that that's not a person? They don't even look remotely like people. I don't know if it's true, but I like thinking about it. It's a funny thought that this like guy just couldn't tell the difference. I don't know if the music's too loud. It's playing all the like hardcore songs from the game and not all the quiet ones. That's the thing about playing the soundtrack of this in the back of a stream. Sometimes you've got like pretty normal music, you know? And then all of a sudden it'll be like really loud electronic music, and you're like, that's not... Like suddenly it's too loud. I love that opening scene though. This one's from the lily pads area, which I love that area. I love the music for that area, especially. It makes me really emotional for some unknown reason, but, so, like, a part of me, like, apparently, like, in the recommendeds for this, OST video, it was like, yeah, you could, like, play, like, the lily pads song on loop for 2 hours, and I was like, see, I would do that, but it would probably drive some people watching insane. So I'm not going to, but maybe if I'm not finished with this by the time the stream is up, I will play it for the remainder of my time working on this drawing. That would be fun. This is a really big eraser. It's always weird when like your brush or eraser is like really big and you're like, I don't remember why I set it to that. This is my terrible non-existent ability to draw hands once I actually have to draw them in more. Well, draw them at all, but especially draw them in like not a like one of the positions that I draw them in all the time. See, that just looks like garbage. I might like trace over the rest. This one was pretty fun to design this part for, though. They're lily pad shaped. This is another one of those situations. Listening to a Subnautica soundtrack song where I'm like, I recognize this song, but I don't know where from, and then you check. Oh, Twisty Bridges, okay. This one actually tells you where it's from. A lot of the names are like really vague, and I'm like, I have no idea. Like, A Cold Wet Planet, I only know is from one of the areas on the side of the land mass that has like the frozen leviathan and stuff, and I only know that because I heard it and was like, wow, and had to look up which song it was. Yeah, I suck at drawing these hands, so I'll just go ahead and erase them so that I can. This actually works really well. Yeah, I'll see about this. Oh yeah, I definitely recognize the song now. I have no idea what this is supposed to be. Like, it's based on this thing. Are those its ears? I literally can't tell. I have no idea what those are. Maybe it's the gills? Don't know. Subnautica creature anatomy is weird. I guess I'll just do it like that. Maybe not. I'll just do it like that. I'll figure it out later if I, like, no, this actually looks bad. Also, the tail is not as twisty as I would like it to be, so I'm probably just going to fix that as I'm doing it. Wish I could draw digitally. I only have loads of sketchbooks. I actually started doodling at work on paper using a pen, and I realized how nice having sketchbooks was, because I feel like the problem when you're doing sketches digitally, at least for me, is I feel like it has to look completely finished, and so then I go overboard, and I don't let myself just be loose and crazy with it, and I'm able to doodle all kinds of funny stuff in my doodles at work, which my boss doesn't mind me doodling, as long as I'm not supposed to be doing something else. But yeah, so I do mean that, I do miss that, but yes, digital, like, for artwork that isn't supposed to be, like, I would absolutely go for, like, digital. Like, if the artwork's supposed to be, like, full color, like this sort of thing. If you want to learn digital, if you make a mistake, you can just undo it. Yes, that's what I love about it. It always, and like, going to art school and stuff, artists have found ways to minimize the damage that their mistakes do, because there's no way you can do it without making mistakes. But to me, it was just like, I was like, I'm sorry, I can't do it. I knew this one kid in one of my classes. He did everything traditionally, including inking, and he liked to do these like really elaborate like inking. Like his stuff looked like less like a comic book and more like really fancy illustrations. And he would ink all of it traditionally. And, you know, he'd come up with ways to like cover up mistakes if he made them. But, you know, if he came up with a really bad one, just had to start over. And not only that, but it just takes longer in general. Yeah, it does take talent, right? And this guy was like, yeah, when I asked him, well, how long does that take? I remember talking about it before we got a portfolio review, and I said, how long does that take for you to do one of those pages? And he was like, yeah, 8 hours. And I was like, no. I was like, it takes me half that time to ink a comic page. Like, it's ridiculous how long like the patience that kid had. I was like, no way, I could never do that. Trying to figure out how to. Yeah. So yeah, 8 hours to ink a page. I don't have that patience or talent. It's like, nah. And there's also this guy who I like his inking. He's a comic artist named Scotty Young. And it's weird because his inking looks very messy. Like he did it very quickly. But it clearly isn't. Like it's clearly like something that he premeditates because it looks really good. So like if you actually look, because like there were a couple times in art school where I like tried to replicate it. Nuh-uh. Like whatever he's doing, like he's developed some kind of technique to make it look messy when really it's, you know, planned out. So it's really interesting because he uses like, and he, of course, because he uses traditional stuff, he has like 50 million pens, which is another advantage of using digital art. You don't have to buy all these extra tools. Okay, so is it that you don't have like the funds to do something digitally, or, because I know you said you want to, but you haven't really been able to. Because if it's funds, I mean, I don't know how many funds you have access to. But there are a lot of cheaper alternatives to, you know, big stuff like Wacom tablets. And digital thingy, and don't have any of the software. Yeah, so I'm drawing this on an iPad. And this one's on a somewhat more expensive program. It's on Clip Studio Paint, which is not, which is not that expensive. Like on the computer, it's very cheap compared to things like Photoshop. It's like $30 and you just buy it once. But then you would need, you know, some kind of Wacom tablet for that. But a really cheap, drawing software for the iPad is Paint, Procreate. And that's like less than $30, and it's like a one-time purchase, and you get all the updates and stuff for free. And like there are a lot of professionals who use it for their artwork. There's a guy, he has a YouTube channel. He's like a professional character designer. His artwork's really good. His channel is called The Character Design Forge, and he draws everything on his iPad now on Procreate. Like he paints using it. He does everything using his iPad. So that was sort of a thing when the iPad became usable, a lot of artists were sick of being charged subscriptions, or being charged a bunch of money for fancy, expensive tablets, drawing tablets. So this was like a form of rebellion. They all started buying other software and iPads. They were like, haha, you can't make us buy your ridiculously expensive stuff anymore. Take that. Oh my goodness, I thought that was the teeth I thought were gonna be the hardest part. This is not actually that difficult. But sketching is different. Yeah, take that, Apple. I mean, Apple, we bought their iPads, but it's more Wacom and Adobe that had the big monopoly on that stuff. Like, Adobe is the industry standard for literally everything ever. And then Wacom is, like, the only brand of tablets that's really good. Those, like, drawing tablets. Like, there are some other good ones, but they're the big one. Also the industry standard. But now, and then, Adobe started charging subscriptions for all of their stuff. So they were like, you literally can't use our software unless you pay, like, monthly for it. Which is, pretty messed up. Because before you had, like, the option. You could do a subscription or you could, just buy it outright. But then they were forcing people. And I think recently they made it, like, illegal for people to use their software without a subscription. Like, the old versions of it that don't have a subscription. I think they recently were like, yeah, you can't do that. Which is bullcrap. So, a lot of people were like, that's bullcrap. So they all started buying, Apple products like the iPad and things like Clip Studio Paint or Procreate. It's really annoying. Because they knew they could do that and get away with it because we didn't really have any good alternatives. Any quality alternatives. So, now we do. So, we were like, take that. But yeah, it's, compared to how it used to be, the market has a lot less expensive options now. And honestly, I like these better because I've had a Wacom Intuos tablet, and there was a point where I had a very, like, fancy one that had a screen and everything, very fancy. But that one was big. It was hard to carry around. It had, like, 1 million cables. And then I just don't like the way it feels as much as I like the iPad. So honestly, like, the iPad's just better than that. I feel like I got a better deal with the iPad. I believe in iPad supremacy. Seriously. But, I mean, being able to sketch good is legitimately a really good skill, though. This is what a lot of storyboard artists kind of need. If you're interested in, like, animation or anything like that. Those people need to be able to draw or sketch. They don't have to make, like, full fleshed out images. They need to be able to do it very fast. So, I can sketch okay, but usually it's super messy. If I do it, like, super fast. Like, the doodles I have at work are fun, but they're not something that I would send for, like, an art portfolio, This one is not cooperating with me, this curve. I already animate a little on 3D stuff. 3D stuff, really? What kind of programs do you use for that? Because I don't even know where I would go to do that. I've never done that before. Okay, good. It's just making sure it was. Sorry, I'm trying to also recognize this song. Oh gosh, tangent. Okay, there we go. Roblox? Oh, I know Roblox. I've never. I mean, you know what? Like, you're braver than I am, because one of the reasons I haven't done it is just fear. I'm like, I'm gonna suck at it, so I don't do it. So, you're braver than I am to be like, honestly, the people who are willing to use, I feel like that's one of my biggest problems is that I'm like, oh, I have to have the perfect tools or whatever. Especially when I was first starting out. I was very obsessed with that, so you just being like, this is what I have, I'm going to use it. Props. That's honestly good, because, you're able to learn the basics without spending bajillion dollars. I technically did go to a class during college about animating in Adobe Animate, what used to be Adobe Flash. And that was fun to learn. I just never ended up using any of it. But I did take like a class on it that was like an extra class that this guy was teaching, and it was completely free. He was just teaching it for fun. So he wasn't a professor, but I think he wanted to be. So he was sort of teaching this like class. And I learned a lot, but I forgot a lot of it. But I did learn a lot of stuff that helped me like understand stuff later on, which is, the basics of puppet animation and vector art and all that fancy stuff that I feel like otherwise I would have been like, what's that? Yep. And yep, it was in the animation building, and I remember everybody there was, a nerd. Nerds. This is the person drawing mermaids from Subnautica. And the students were really fun. I think the guy who taught it, like, worked for Nickelodeon, or he had worked for Nickelodeon. Or something like that. He was trying to pitch a cartoon in Nickelodeon, something like that, and he had some actual animated bits of it. So, it was weird, the kind of people you met over at SCAD. I have a line. Where is it? Here. Crap, it's on the same layer as this thing. Okay, I was worried that was going to be way more difficult. Reminds me of one of my teachers who was an original animator for Courage the Cowardly Dog. She'd draw Courage on the whiteboards even. What? That's awesome. What did she teach? Was she an art teacher or... Yeah, she. You mentioned it was a she. I was like, wait, am I just assuming it's a she? No, that's super cool. How did she end up as a teacher? That's so interesting. That's awesome. So she storyboarded or did she animate? Do you know? Not sure. She was good. Yeah, I would. Yeah. Well, that's the thing is, it's so interesting to watch an animator or a storyboard artist draw something that they've drawn so many times because they can do it in 2 seconds. I know everybody makes fun of Garfield now, but I remember years ago seeing a video of Jim Davis drawing Garfield, and it took him 5 seconds, and the ovals he was drawing and stuff were perfectly shaped. It was amazing. All I knew was that she drew Courage a lot, and she worked on the show. I mean, that's pretty awesome to meet somebody like that, just randomly. I know mom's friend happened to know a guy who worked for like several animated shows. He was like a character designer. And so it was weird actually meeting him in person, and he had like decked out his house with like all these like drawings of like cartoon characters. And I'm pretty sure he'd done all of those drawings, but they looked like they were part of the wall, you know, like they were just part of the wallpaper or whatever. It was pretty awesome. Just being in his house was like, whoa. And he had kids, and I was like so jealous of his kids. It's like, phew. His kids get a cool dad who does artwork. But yeah, he'd been hired for like several things. Oh gosh. I'm gonna have to sketch the hands. Or the fingers, at least. Yeah, it was pretty cool. He had drawings of, like, Fairly Odd Parents, the Veggie Tales. He had... I can't remember all of it. Some Disney characters. He had done some, like, work for Disney. He even had some work up on his wall that... I was taking photos of stuff in his house because I thought it was cool. And when I tried to take photos of it, he was like, no, you can't take photos of that. That's, like, secret. And I was like, okay. I will breathe the word of this to no one. But that was cool. I was like, what? He's doing, like, work for something that hasn't been announced yet, so that was cool. He was like, no, you can't show that to anybody. I was like, oh, okay, my bad. Okay, just making sure. I was like, wait, what if I'm... Boop. This is another song that I recognize from the game, but not sure from where. Continuous thrum. See, that's one of the songs where I'm like, I don't know what that means. Okay. Alright. I just need to sketch the fingers and ink them, and then I can move on to the rest, to coloring it. And the background as well. Let's see if I can figure out where the... That might just be one of the situations with the color blends in. Very angry music now. It's this one. The obelisk. So that's some kind of alien ruin. I assume maybe it's the one where you find Alan. I remember when I didn't know what Alan was because I was trying to wait till the game's full release, but I would see, stuff about Alan out of context. And I assumed Alan was like some kind of weird AI. And it's like, yes, but actually no. He did act a lot like an AI, though, like a sci-fi AI. It's like logic with a British accent, because I don't know why they always need a British accent. Okie doke. I keep putting off actually doing what I'm supposed to do. The freaking, okay. Gotta turn this down, the stabilization. That's one thing that I love about digital art. I would not give that up for the world, is freaking stabilization. I don't know what I would do without stabilization. That it just makes your lines straighter. I have the clumsiest hand. Lots of cool British voices. Yes. I actually met a girl the other day at work. I work at like it's like a bank, so we get a bunch of people coming in. And this girl was actually not from the United States. She was from Ireland. And she and her family had been living in the United States as permanent residents, but for a while. But they were not U.S. citizens, and she had been born in Ireland and grown up there. But it was so funny because she had like this Irish. It wasn't super strong, but you could hear it in her voice, like the Irish accent. And I was like, "Are you from Ireland?" And it was like I figured it out because I'd watched enough Jacksepticeye to know that sounded Irish specifically. Oh, you're Irish too. The luck of the Irish. Yes. What did you think of the... I don't know if you saw this, like if you actually saw the footage of it. I wouldn't be surprised if you'd heard of it, considering the area of the internet that we're in. But, Jacksepticeye was in Poppy Playtime Chapter 2. He did like a cameo where he was playing Marcus, some guy who had seen something sketchy and was like, telling... yes, yeah. I loved it. I loved Markiplier's reaction because it was exactly my reaction of like, oh my gosh, like they took the Irishness and like cranked it up to 11. Like he's so Irish. Bunzo's cardboard cut. Yes, it did. I didn't actually see I couldn't find if Markiplier heard that. Did he hear that? Like what kind of reaction did he have? Oh crap. Let me guess. I'm doing it on the same layer. No, I'm not. Okay, thank God. And then... it's June 28th. That's so funny. He's like, yeah, very blatant reference to me. That must be weird, though, like, being in a situation where it's like, crap, I did this on the same layer, okay. I have to, oof. Already struggling. Yeah, it must be weird to, like, be well-known enough that people will add cameos in their games, like, specifically targeted at you. That must be odd. Then I think, because I know also, like, Subnautica, that they went, as a big thank you to all the big YouTubers that played it, they put, like, some extra stuff in the game for them or something. Which I think was pretty cool. Give them, like, little badges and stuff. Hey, Jackie G. Or Jackie G? No, I'm not sure. I'm not sure anymore. Okay, that's good enough. I've been trying to get their hand for, like, ages. Here's what I got. So now I can actually start coloring it. Even but Bunzo face down is just take a nap. Shut up. That's so funny. I don't know if did you guys know this guy Astral Spiff? Because I've been binging a ton of his videos recently. He's like this speedrunner guy who just enjoys like finding, like doing the weirdest challenges in games, and it's so interesting. He's like constantly trying to break the game or like push the limits of games. Looks depon. Thank you. I will take that as a compliment. Thank you. But yeah, he really likes testing the limits of video games. He did a challenge, and his YouTube channel, he actually takes his streams and like breaks them up into like the actual parts, and he like explains what he was doing and stuff like that. So they're well edited, and you're not just watching the full stream. But he was streaming, and basically what he tried to do is see if so in Poppy Playtime, apparently there was this whole thing where like the higher your frame rate is, the faster you can swing across gaps with the little swingy thingy with the grab pack using the hand. For some reason, like that shouldn't affect that, but for some reason it affects your speed to the point where playing like at 240 or above and speedrunning is considered like OP, because you can't do more than, or you can't do 240 FPS or more, or it's basically cheating because you go so fast. So yeah, so he did a whole thing, and I watched the whole video of him seeing how low you could get before the level's like literally unplayable. The second chapter, and he went all the way down to 1 frame, and technically, you could beat the game. Technically, it's just that once you get down to like 20, you probably shouldn't play it that low. Because holy crap, it's so bad. Like it impairs your vision. I just really like his stuff. It's fun. I know he's done a lot of stuff on Security Breach too. He did like a huge like compilation of like all of the glitches that are known of in Security Breach, and it's really sad. I remember seeing a couple of them in Jack's playthrough, or in other people's playthroughs, but I remember Jack's game bugged a lot with Security Breach. It's very funny. I remember when he realized that his flashlight and the I will always say, or phaser blast gun, I guess it's technically phaser blast, but I like phaser blast better. His phaser blast gun were like merged together. He was holding both of them at the same time, and they were like clipping into each other. I was like, no. What the heck song is this? I don't recognize this song at all. Mirage Machine, another name that gives me no indication of what it's of at all. A lot of OST names. It's so happy. Okay. I'm going to try something. I really like bright coloring, so I'm going to see if I can manage that. I'm going to try and make it like a... Let's see. Oops. I didn't make another. This is why you always lock your layers. That's another thing that's great about digital art. Always lock your layers so that if you try to draw on the wrong layer, it'll be like, you can't draw on this layer, and then you'll be like, oh, wait. I like this song. I don't know, what part is this game? What part of the game is this song in? Astral Smith's fun. I just like watching speedrunners. I swear, like, I feel like there are some hobbies that really show you, like, mankind's ingenuity. Like, the way that we will solve problems. No matter how, like, much the problem just doesn't want to be solved. We're like, screw you. Like, we will do this. You can't make us not. Can't make us not do it. We'll figure out how. And it is precisely like that. Yeah. It's like speedrunning of all things. This is definitely one that illustrates. Oh, crap. Oh, crap, I forgot. I'm gonna edit this. I wish I could just... After this, what do I plan to draw? I guess it depends. Like, do you mean for streams in general, or do you mean, like, today? Because if... I plan to stream until 5. So if I finish this by 5, I guess I'll just figure out something else to draw. if when it comes to streams, I've got like several ideas written down for different things to draw from different fandoms. I wish you could. I bet you can, and I'm just stupid and I don't know how. Okay. Okay, that's good enough. Nope, nope, not that kind. Wrong shape. Horror-tail? Yeah, maybe I can do something like Horror-tail. Probably not a full illustration. But I could definitely do some like doodles or something of Horror-tail. I do like Horror-tail, it's fun. I should have done that on a separate layer. I'm gonna do that. I also didn't realize. Sometimes I get nervous when it like auto saves or does some. I don't even know what that's doing. The message pops up so fast. I get so nervous. I'm like, Let me see. So erasing with different like brushes is weird in CSP. Like I wish it didn't work the way it does. Okay. How is your day? My day's been going good. It's been kind of slow, but that's not bad. I'm very happy. I'm very happy to have a long weekend. How about you? Are you? I don't know how old people are. I'm not gonna ask them. That's weird, but but it was like I was gonna ask like about summer, and then I was like, I don't know if this person has like summer vacation. Okay. Maybe your mind was slow, but at least ooh, Subway. I didn't even know they have Subways in Ireland. I didn't know that. Fun fact that I just learned today. They have Subway in Ireland. I love Subway. I keep eating there too often, especially for work, like during break. I'll go there all the time. In the UK, I feel like I've got several like people who watch my streams who are like overseas. And I'm like, dang, time zones. Oh, you're not in Ireland. Okay, my bad. I got confused. I was gonna say that's awesome. I used to draw with really bright colors, but then my teacher was like, "Yo, you're gonna give people eye strain." But I've gotten better at drawing and better at coloring over the years, so maybe I can work it out. Do you still have the Irish accent? Yeah, I love Irish accents. I don't know if that's a weird thing to say. I always worry that like saying, "Oh, I love X accent" is like really annoying to people with that accent. I wouldn't mind, I don't think. Like if someone told me I love American accents, I'd be like, "Sure. Cool." But I don't know if it sounds weird or annoying. Is there ever going to be a Discord server? Well, thank you for asking. That's very nice. I would not expect that question. I don't know. It seems like I don't know. I feel like even though my channel is not the tiniest channel ever, it's still pretty tiny by YouTube standards. I'm not sure how many people would be in a server like that. And I barely know how to run a server. It ain't. That was a bit rude. No, it's not rude. It was genuinely that made me happy, actually. That question made me happy, because I was like, wow, someone wants a Discord server. That made me happy. So yeah, don't worry about it. No offense taken at all. Very happy. I just keep waiting for the lily pad song to come up in this Subnautica Below Zero playlist. Okay. What song is this? I can't... Smiley face. What song is this? Stay off my... Oh, it's Marguerite. I was like, what the heck am I hearing? This doesn't sound like Subnautica music. That makes sense. Because it's Marguerite. Marguerite is highly aggressive and kind of westerny. I love how Marguerite has, like, the skull of a reaper hung up in her room or whatever. In her, like, house that she's built for herself. You've bought the first Subnautica recently. 10 out of 10. I personally like the first better than the second. I've been thinking of going back to the first just for fun and trying some stuff out. It's so nice. I love the Lost River. I would be like, oh, I'm spoiling things, but I mean, I feel like the chances that you've seen a lot of this are pretty high. I'm going to see about making the hair, okay, various colors. If you guys have a good idea for what color to make the hair, that's always the part that I struggle with, I guess, with mermaids. That might work. I'm thinking either purple or this blue here. The blue might be too much blue. I actually kind of like that. It's another game that lists... Yeah, I have a long list. I've been wanting to buy this one that I stumbled upon. It's like a Metroidvania called Grime. And it's weird. It's like some weird game where, like, you're playing as a guy that looks like he has a black hole for a head. And he sneaks. And you run around in this, like, weird land full of, like, horrible creatures made out of body parts, and you take their body parts when you defeat them as, like, because it's a Metroidvania, and you use them as weapons, like, you forge weapons out of them, and it's weird, but I've heard it's good, and the trailer looked interesting, and I like the monster designs, so I keep wanting to get it, but then I hate spending money, so I'm like, ugh. Still have to decide whether I want purple or blue for this. I'm gonna go with the blue. Maybe I'll make it like a... Yeah, I might... Or maybe like green blue. You have fan art of me. Holy crap. Oh my gosh, thank you. Oh my... It's people who say it. Like, when people say nice things like that, oh, it makes me so happy. People who... It's just so nice to know that my art's impacting somebody. I never assumed that it would be through YouTube. Definitely. It was such a weird experience. Making this YouTube channel was strange. And I wish I were better at keeping up with it. Because I'm really not as good as I could be at it. Okay. Emily, I sent it to you. I feel like you did, because I remember you telling me about it. And it was just a while ago, and then everything just with the job that I had, I wasn't able to, like, do anything. And it's funny because they were like, you know this job's gonna have long hours. Like, do you think you can do that? That won't, like, stifle you creatively? And I was like, nah, it'll be fine. I was wrong. Everything was not fine. Narrator voice. Yeah, it was not. No. But that was my own fault. I didn't believe them. Or I didn't take it seriously enough, I guess. They were like, hey, just fair warning. And I was like, yeah, I'm sure it's not a big deal. Herp derp. I don't recognize this music either. It's so easily confused. I'm gonna create it later. Sorry about the silences occasionally. Just trying to qualities I draw. Yeah. Well, they knew I mentioned that I was an artist, and so they said, they were like, just so you know, a list of work qualifications. I mean, depending on the job, that can actually be like an extra bit of help. There really is art everywhere. I remember beginning to especially notice that when I started going to art school. Really just to see how much every company has and needs some art. Okay. Oh, this actually did not turn out as... I was worried that was going to look awful. It doesn't. It looks pretty good. Okay. Cool. I think there's there's like some weird irks. Sorry about the silence though. I know it's like it's just that I'm trying to get all this, so my brain is like turning off the talking ability. Use some programming? Really? That's awesome. I have no idea how to do any of that. I have a friend, though, who went to school for computer science, and he and his friends, he has friends from work who are all, computer nerds, nerd alert, and they are hoping to program something. This is a song I like from, I recognize this song. A Cold Wet Planet. I love this song. But yeah, they're thinking of making a mod for Hollow Knight. And my friend was like, hey, would you consider helping us? And I was like, heck yeah, I would. So I might be helping with something like that. Maybe. I hope so. That would be super fun. Because they need some artwork for it, so. It's a pretty fun mod idea, too. I hope it becomes a thing. They're just thinking of ideas right now. So I'm not going to start talking about it like it's a realized project or anything. But I do hope that it'll come to fruition and I'll be able to work on it. It would be super fun to do some art for video game stuff, because I do indeed love video games. Which I know is very difficult to tout. My channel has nothing to do with video games. Okay, I gotta fix that, because... no, I'm not trying to make the thing bigger. Oop. What kinds of, I've watched some stuff about making video games, because there's a part of me that's always kind of wanted to try it, but it's so intimidating for me. It's like, there's all this stuff. Yeah, even though there are a lot of programs nowadays that try to get around a lot of the programming stuff in order to make it faster and easier, to make games, because, you know, before pretty much only scientists could make video games, because that was how much computer knowledge was needed. Now it's not like that, but... Music. Ta-da! Okay. Finish coloring the actual... Well, I mean, I haven't shaded it or anything. Oh, I still need to do the thing with the funky tentacles it has. The funky underside tentacles. I wonder if the, like, little... I almost called it a Pokédex entry, because it's a lot like a Pokédex. Okay. I was like, what's going on? It's not. I was checking my messages to you. An exact year ago tomorrow. Oh, that's so cool. Was this on Instagram? I think people only had my Instagram. I've changed, like, people's access to my various looking. Looking for it. I'm terrible at remembering. Because, again, that job just, like, sucked. I was like, what's going on? It's like I made stuff and then I just forgot to post it. But I didn't make a lot, that's for sure. Okay, there we go. Boop. Okay. There's so much. It still might change the hair color. We'll see. Guess I'll do what I did the other times, which is kind of do the... This is what I did this time. Definitely using this sort of thing helps. Okay. This music just makes me think of this one. When I was looking for some music from a specific TTRPG, there was sort of a... Trying to figure out where we are. 26 Legal Courts. Getting closer and closer to lily pads. That's what I'm really anticipating is lily pads. Lily pads music. Oh. Oh man. Oh, I forgot I had makeup on for a second. Okay, I'm gonna save it real fast. That's the one thing I like about the Clip Studio Paint app is that you can just hit the save button. Like Procreate's a little bit more annoying than that. You have to like go into this whole like save like menu sort of. This you just hit the save button like you would on a computer. Just save. I'm gonna try seeing about, because the other one had the like easy to trace background. Oh, the like alien like thing. I'm gonna try, because I did like that art for the speed paint before I started uploading like real videos to this channel again. And one thing that I'm getting a call from someone. I feel bad having to decline their call, but I'm sure it's something that can wait. I'll just be like, sorry, I was really busy with something. Something very, very important to my life. Definitely a life or death situation. It's fine. I'm sure she'll be cool with it. She's not. It was weird though, because I don't really get calls from my relatives often. Okay, so what I'm gonna try and do is do kind of what I did with. It's actually, this is weird. This is actually easier to do somehow, for some reason, like referring other layers. But whatever works, man. Maybe I need to remove this. There we go. That's so weird. I don't understand how this stuff works sometimes. Like the fill-in tool, paint bucket type stuff. I'm like, what? In any art program, I'm always confused by it. I'm like, I have no idea what's going on, but okay. So what I did with thing with the other things that I made. Right, I'll just layer below. Oops, I knew I saw like a stray line in the inking layer. Yeah, okay. Let me get rid of that. I should left a voicemail. Okay. So I'm thinking of doing, because I really liked, like with the Java fan art that I did for that first video of like early May. which it feels like it's been so long since then. But I feel like it's been so long since then. But I really liked, and I'd done other drawings of this sort of thing where I just sort of put shapes in the background and then change their opacity. And so part of me is wondering about doing that with other pieces of art as well. Just simplifying the background into like basic shapes. We'll see though. We'll see how that goes. So it's like now I want to take some of the stuff that's like closer to the surface and make it like the same color but then lighten it. This is weird. I don't remember them having these little things sprouting out from the sides, but screenshots don't lie. Oh, I thought that was something else popping up on the screen. Is that? I don't even know. It's hard to see. So I'm wondering if just making shapes in the background will be pretty effective. We'll see. We'll see right now. Right now, we're going to see. They're not very even ovals. I should really be careful about that. I mean, to be fair, they are like a natural, they're a plant, so. I can definitely get rid of anything underneath this. That's fine. I can select that layer and just get rid of anything. It's just going to look ugly for a second. And then I just select what is this music? Why is this music? I'm like, what on earth? Okay, then I've got, thank you, looking good, thank you. And it's gotten kind of quiet as I try to figure out what I'm doing. Which is, like half of the artistic process is just being like, what's going on? Okay, and I think the rest can just be in the same green. This is also going to take some erasure of the stuff underneath. It's very weird music, also. I might check really quick before this song ends. What the heck song is this? The song might not help at all. Spinefish. Yeah. I'm animating someone while listening to someone talk while drawing something. I've gotta sleep now. See you next week. So, okay. Bye, Jackie G. Thank you for stopping in. You have a good night and sleep well. Thanks for tuning in. And I don't know how people can animate something while listening to anyone talk. Like, props to you for that, because I would not be able to focus in the slightest. I'd be like getting distracted constantly. It's like I can ink, but I can't even sketch when I'm like listening to someone talk. Like if I try to listen to a podcast, I'll either start drawing horribly or stop drawing altogether, or like or just forget, like, or focus on the drawing and not hear anything the person talking says. Yeah, I don't know how I do it either. That's so funny. How do you do it? Don't ask me. Ask my brain. Um, I know so many people who do that thing where they, turn like a TV show on in the background while they do stuff, and they just don't pay attention to what's happening. And I can't do that. Like, if there's a TV show on, I have to focus on the TV show. It happens with YouTube, too. Unless I've seen the video, like, a million times. If there's, like, a video playing, I'm like... Or, a TV show, I feel bad. ADHD, son. It focuses in response to something random. You can't distract me, Jack. Jack isn't Jacksepticeye or someone else? Or is that a line from something? That'd be pretty funny. That sounds like a funny line. Like a TV show. I'd like to see that in context of, like, a larger conversation. Okay. Oh my gosh, I actually really like the way this looks as just shapes to the Nanomachine Sunline from Metal Gear Rising. That's awesome. I love that. ADHD, son. I feel like that could honestly be like a long-running joke on the internet, right? Like, ADHD, son. The original line was, Nanomachine, son. It hardens in response to physical trauma. You can't hurt me, Jack. I don't know about the Metal Gear games. All I know is, like, the character's name in Solid Snake, or at least was originally. I don't know if they've made different protagonists now, but the original main character's name was Solid Snake, and he's really good at hiding in boxes. That's pretty much, like, all I know. I'm gonna try giving these, let me see, I'm gonna try window layer property, yep. Does this, I don't know why it does that. Maybe it's that. I don't know. This used to just work. Just like layer property. And now it starts pulling up. Okay. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, cool. Okay. I am detecting. Ah! You should definitely see Metal Gear Rising. It's an amazing game with tons of banger soundtracks. Who doesn't love banger soundtracks? Also, one guy in the game goes on a 2-minute speech about memes. I want to see that. I want to see some, like, hardened military guy go on. Because that's what they are, right? Or sort of, like, secret agent military guy. Memes. The DNA of the soul. They are the culture. They are everything we pass on. They become a carrier. Envy, greed, despair. All memes. All passed on. Now, there's a pretty meme. Exquisite. His name is Monsoon, and he's basically all edgy and stuff. But he talks about memes. I love everything about that. That's amazing. That's so great. Ooh, here it is. Lily pads. This one's my favorite song in the entire game. Memes are. I remember seeing a video where this guy talked about catchphrases, like the history of catchphrases in film and television. And he mentioned that, like, nowadays we don't really have those. You know, people don't say, like, catchphrases that everyone's like, oh, yeah, I get that. But he said that's sort of like the modern version of the catchphrase is memes. Because there are so many things to consume now that it's not like the 80s where there were, like, 2 movies that everybody knew. Because they didn't have the, like, flood of content that we get from the internet. Now, like, if you like a niche thing, you can go, like, binge that niche thing. And there you go. But if you, like, don't, you can just watch whatever else you want. This is the part of the song I love the most. Gosh, I love that. This is definitely my favorite. Road work ahead. And I'm 90% certain that everyone would say the second half of the vine. Yeah, exactly. I really liked that interpretation of it, of like, yeah, it's not that we don't have catchphrases anymore, we just take it. Which makes sense, because, like, I did not watch SpongeBob as a child. I did not see SpongeBob. But I recognize, like, all the SpongeBob memes, because I've seen them enough times that it's like, ah, SpongeBob meme. I instantly know what it is. I'm probably changing this to... My personal favorite SpongeBob meme is... Gotta hear the favorite SpongeBob meme. Chocolate. Did you say chocolate? Yep. I know that one. It's being weird. This is it, right? Oh, that's probably what it is. Yep. That's so weird that certain things have an effect. Oh, that's what it is. I had the wrong type of gradient. I'm just gonna lock this before I can mess it up any. So it is. Foreground background. There we go. Let's see about that. Oh, I like this. It's basically just a soft light layer. Let me just go ahead and fix that. This is the great thing. Soft light layer. Oh, I'm discovering new things. Like chocolate. I'm trying to think of my favorite SpongeBob meme. There are lots of good ones. Like, lots of good ones. I feel like I'm thinking of one, but it's just not... It's not coming to my head. Like, I'm not remembering the exact... I just know I have a favorite, but I just can't remember which one it is. There's just so many good ones. Oh, I really like the... How many times do you have to teach you this lesson, old man? I might like that one a lot just because the FNAF fandom has used it so many times. With William Afton. Or just... Go away, old man. That one's great. I really, really love that one. Yeah. Oh, okay. Sorry, I'm trying to figure something out. Um, Layer property. Okay, so maybe that wasn't it. Uh, that's weird. Oh, that's weird. It's like filling in. Okay, yeah. Sorry. That kind of stinks. Hi there, young people. Nice day today. Oh, I'll sell you all day. Is that the context of it? Where, like, an old guy just comes up all friendly and everybody's, like, very hostile towards him for literally no reason? That's hilarious. SpongeBob humor is so. I've seen like a couple episodes because when I was in high school, people were like, "You never saw it as a kid?" And I was like, "No." And they were like, "You should go back and watch it." And so I did, and I thought it was really funny. I was like, "This is legitimately so funny." But it's funny because a lot of it, like, I wouldn't have gotten it, the jokes as a kid. Like, they would have confused me. Okay, we'll just start with that. It's the shading. Um. Oh, this is random. I'm just gonna try this. Never mind. I was like, I'll try this, and then I was like, nah, actually, no. Oh, yeah, I forgot that you kind of need it to be dark. Okay. Now I can actually. I'm trying to figure out, was the old guy actually bad, or were the people just having a weird reaction to his presence, and, like, assuming that he was there to... Yeah, I wouldn't have gotten a lot of the jokes in that show as a kid. I don't know if I just wasn't smart enough or what. But the thing is, like, my mom wasn't all too keen on us watching the show. But she explained when I told her that I thought it was really funny and that I just wouldn't have gotten a lot of the humor as a kid. She was like, "Oh, that might explain it." And I was like, "What are you talking about?" And she said that when it was like really, when it became really popular, like the news started talking about it because they always want to talk about what kids are watching. And so, oops, sorry. But she said that they had started talking about it on the news, and she saw, and they said that the jokes were not for kids, or something of that sort. And she says that maybe what they meant was kids wouldn't really get it, but what she heard was the jokes are inappropriate for children. So she decided to not let us watch it, or at least not like express concern about us watching it. So when she told me that, I was like, oh, that explains a lot. Yeah, this is a cool song. It's playing right now. No, he was nice, but SpongeBob pointed behind him because someone was going to kick his butt. And no, and everyone looked at some old guy at a bus stop, and one guy assumed he was gonna... SpongeBob, no! Poor old man. He was just going through his everyday life. SpongeBob never means to hurt anybody. It just happens. I remember hearing a guy talk about how one of the things about SpongeBob that made it pretty timeless to the people of our generation was that as children we could relate to SpongeBob because, you know, he has sort of a childlike mindset. But then as adults we became very cynical and we could relate to Squidward more. But either way, we had a character that we could relate to. Like the memes. I do like the visual memes. Like I like the cards, the title cards, like, or the time cards, like 3 years later. The like guy with the French accent for some reason that people use, or the here lies Squidward's hopes and dreams one. The entire episode was about a bully trying to kick SpongeBob's butt, but SpongeBob couldn't feel pain, so the guy just kept punching him until he passed out. That's SpongeBob is a weird show, but all cartoons are weird, to be fair. Patrick made a joke about the time cards after SpongeBob took too long to paint something. Oh, meta! He was holding the time card and he said, "Can you move it along? I'm all out of time cards." Amazing. A little bit of a meta joke there. Love that. There you go. This is a lot easier one. Oh, time cards. I love Patrick as a character too. I love characters who kind of do the Patrick thing where most of the time they say stupid stuff, but then like every now and then they have a moment where it's like, what the heck? Have you ever heard of this guy, Alex Bale, on YouTube? Oh my gosh, crap. Where did that come from? Oh, actually, it's fine. He does SpongeBob theory videos, or he did for a while, that were definitely not connected to any ARG at all. Totally just like innocent SpongeBob theory videos that had nothing creepy attached to them. He's not making the SpongeBob videos right now because he's transitioned to the ARG, sort of. Like, for now. But a lot of people are now more invested in the ARG. I've been watching that guy for a while, so. But I don't watch the theories themselves. Partly because I'm more interested in the ARG, but also partly because I don't get it. I'm like, I have no idea what he's talking about. I don't know who these characters are. But I've heard from some people in the comments of those videos that, like, they're strangely plausible theories. Insane, but strangely plausible. So. That's what I've heard people say. Like, I think I've heard like some SpongeBob theories about Patrick secretly being the smarter. I don't know if that was one of Alex Bale's theories, but I feel like I've heard something like that. This theory that Patrick was actually smart the whole time and was just screwing with everyone for some reason. I don't remember why they said he was doing it though. Here we go. gosh, these are gonna be hard. Because they're all close together. Gonna have to select them separately. I wonder if I'm gonna hear the Crystal Caves music by the time. Maybe? We'll see if we hear it by the end of the stream. That one's one of my other favorite tracks from Below Zero. Because it's synth. It's super creepy. Still dealing with that. I still need to go put a scanner room like that person suggested down in the Crystal Caves to see if there are any Shadow Leviathans actually down there. I just enjoyed that one person's response to me mentioning that I'm scared to go down into the Crystal Caves because every other time I've been in there haven't been no Shadow Leviathans, so I don't know if that means they're down there or not. And one person's response to the comment I made on that video, they were like, a whole new kind of torture. And I was like, yeah. We're reaching towards the end of shading. Has Matt Pat made SpongeBob theories? There's no way he hasn't. He's Matt Pat. And some people don't like Matt Pat, but I just enjoy seeing a grown man geek out about things he likes. Even most of the time, I don't agree with his theories at all. I'm like, what are you talking about? He has made a few. Yeah, that's what I would expect from Matt Pat. Matt the Pat. And there was that one new one he made about he made this like about the Krabby Patty formula. Oh yes, I think I've actually like the secret formula. I think I may have seen that pop up on my recommended feed. I bet it's. I think it's funny. I don't even agree with most of Matt's past theories on things, but I watch him anyway. Just because it gives me content to watch about things I like. And because the editing is often very funny in those videos. Oh, I almost forgot I wanted to draw this, some kind of animal for this Squidshark mermaid to be eating. I'll do that in a second. This one's not gonna light up everything. I'm also gonna do like a sort of test where I see, because I'm worried that because I used more saturated colors than usual. Or maybe not. I don't know. I feel like I did. Or maybe not. Oops. Oops. I forgot about the skin there. There we go. Problem solved. So when SpongeBob was adopted, that's a very odd. But I feel like a lot of SpongeBob theories from what I've seen are just very weird. But because the show is so weird, it's like you can technically make all kinds of theories, and it's like very difficult to dispute any of them. So I've heard people do the same with South Park. They make like theories about what's actually going on or whatever in the show. And I feel like those would also be very difficult to dispute. Just because so many crazy things happen in that show. And the funny part was that in his last... Because the guy who made the SpongeBob theories that are tied to an ARG... Or, excuse me, totally not tied to an ARG or anything. A lot of his themes in the ARG were about, like... the way YouTube and the internet work and how creators want their work to get noticed and how that can somehow sometimes just have like its own sort of like problems with the way that can hinder creativity or the way that it can just affect them as people and the content they make online. Blah, blah, blah. But, stuff like making money off of it was in there as a big thing. And in the last one that he did, he had a sponsor, and it was Raid Shadow Legends of all people. Which I thought was just the funniest thing ever. I was like, oh my gosh. Normally my YouTube recommended videos are something stupid like a video of a rat spinning to go to our rip for free, but the video is one rat. Could you not? I need to see that. What the heck? People... I get weird stuff sometimes the stuff in my YouTube recommended, I'm like, why? Like, there was a point where I was getting a lot of videos related to religion, which was, like, incredibly uncomfortable, because it's like, I don't want to talk about that, especially considering how passionate some people can be about it online. There's all these, like, guys just talking bad about religion or whatever, and it was like, I've never looked up religious stuff online, literally ever, on this website, because why would I do that? It was so weird. I was like, YouTube, no. And the only way that I was able to get it to stop was to hit don't recommend this channel on, like, all of them. Eventually. Which, yeah, it seems like those guys mostly make that kind of content anyway, so I'm like, yeah, fine, just don't recommend me the channel. I wouldn't watch their stuff anyway. I'm not interested in hearing that kind of debate. Or debate. Which is usually just people on the internet screaming at each other. Oh, I was trying to draw on something that wasn't selected. Dum-dum. There we go. I was like, really quickly. Is this the Crystal Caves theme? I think it might be. This planet is cursed? I legit don't know what that is. What in the heck? Ugh, creepy. I don't like that. That's creepy. I don't even know, because I haven't finished Below Zero and I haven't watched any playthroughs of the game finished. I need to watch playthroughs of it because I'm probably never going to finish it out of fear of the Shadow Leviathan. But that's a creepy name. I don't remember hearing the character say that. Maybe Marguerite? I can't remember. Five's coming up soon, but I think before I like end this stream, I'm gonna go look up that video of the rat. One rat. Cause honestly, what? Let's see about this. Okay, there we go. Alright, I can... Some music for... This is one of those, like, Subnautica is also a horror game type things. I don't think Below Zero is as scary as the first game. The first game's a lot scarier. I still remember the first game accidentally stumbling upon the Grand Reef. And I remember finding the Grand Reef. And the way I found it was I was just traveling along, you know, a kelp forest. Just like chilling. And then there's like a point where it drops off into the Grand Reef. Like just drops straight off into what looks like an abyss basically. And I was like, oh heck no. I was like, I don't know what's down there, but I'm not going down there. That's a no for me. I was terrified. I was like, I don't know. Yeah, I was legit freaked out. I was like, no. Oh, cool. I picked the right one. I just got a freaking alert from the Domino's app. I order way too much Domino's. Far too much Domino's pizza. Okie dokie. Wow. Oh my goodness. That took a lot longer than expected. I think we've been able to record this because CSP has a really nice record feature where you just hit like record it and it's just part of the file. Like the video is part of the file and you can just export it whenever. I still want to draw like a fish for the Squidshark Mermaid to be attacking. I just need to figure out what kind of fish live in that area. I don't want to draw it eating a sea monkey because those things are adorable, and that would be horrible to draw. That makes you think of Invader Zim. Why would you draw that? I do more drawings like this where the background is mostly shapes of things rather than detailed drawings. I think that looks pretty good. And I'm not an environments person, so I might do more drawings focusing on like a character or a creature. Okay, so I'm going to watch One Rat because I'm not gonna like switch the screen and everything. Or maybe I can do that, right? There we go. Alright. Okay, shush. One rat. Is this... Is it... Oh, I assume this is what you're talking about. Oh, Lessons in Meme Culture covered this. Yes. It says 351,000 views and 27k likes. Okay, so I'm gonna watch that for sure, because that guy does a really good job explaining memes. And thank you for telling me about that, because now I'm gonna be able to go watch that video and know what meme he's talking about. I keep hitting. Boop. Okay. Well, that was weird. I'm coughing. Okay, sorry. Alright, well, it is about 5. So thank you, Jamer Gamer, for tuning into this and listening to it, / watching it. I really appreciate it. And Jackie G has gone to bed. But thank you to them as well, and anyone else who happened to tune in and just didn't go to chat. I appreciate you guys tuning in. And hope you guys have a good day, a good rest of your day. If you're overseas, have a good night. And I'll see you guys next week. Bye. Good day.